Hello everyone, Megadeth Jason here, and welcome to another edition of my Madden 2017 franchise. It is week 11, and we are taking on the New Orleans Saints. Let's go ahead, and I wanted to take a look at awards at the end of the last game when you guys were watching, and I did that under stats. I looked at who's leading the league and everything, but I want to see who's going to win some of these overall weekly and yearly awards. Excuse me, we did look at weekly. We'll look at yearly right now. Jacoby Brissett for MVP so far. Interesting. And it's some of the usual suspects. Blake Bortles is up there as well. Interesting. Coach of the Year, Gus Bradley from the Jaguars. I'm currently in 5th for Coach of the Year. It's 7-2. When we take a look at the Offensive Player of the Year in the NFC, Cam Newton. Adrian Peterson is up there. Defensive Player of the Year is Bobby Wagner so far. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Sean France from Carolina. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Brady Weatherspoon from San Francisco. Best QB, Cam Newton. Best Running Back, Adrian Peterson. Best Wide Receiver, Des Bryant. Treadwell there at 8th. Best O-line, Tyron Smith from Dallas. Best Defensive Line, Robert Quinn from the Rams. Best Linebacker, Bobby Wagner. Best Defensive Back, Darius Slay. Best Kicker, Chandler Catanzaro. Excuse me, sorry. So let's go ahead and let's get this game started. The Saints are 6-3, so this should be a good matchup. I will see you all at the end of the game.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. As we move into the final weeks of the regular season, here's a look at the teams jockeying for playoff position in the NFC. All these teams will be playing their hearts out, trying to claim the highest seed possible before Wild Card Weekend. It's the Saints going up against the Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis as we hook up with our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the former Mississippi State product, the mobile quarterback, Dak Prescott. Peterson alone in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
So on 4th down, the Vikings will call on their punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap. Whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And he's got it over the middle, Fleener. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And there's a nice completion to Kobe Fleener, and no one can be happier than Drew Brees.
Yeah, he had Jimmy Graham for all those years, Ben Watson last year, and now coming south from Indianapolis, Fleener. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. The headshots here, the offensive unit, and what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Now that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams were so great against the run. They made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. Now Brees lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the veteran punter for the Saints, Thomas Morstead, on to punt on 4th down. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
And all the way down to the 37. It's a big run for AP. 45 yards.
That run is what defenses don't like about dealing with Adrian Peterson. His ability to drop his shoulder and run through contact.
And he's amazing at keeping those strong legs going, isn't he?
For him, no run is ever truly over. I mean, he's actually not even convinced.
Touchdown, Vikings! Adrian Peterson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Everson Griffin was a valuable reserve for most of his career, but has really blossomed since entering the starting lineup.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. They come out here in the eye. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And a long way to go for the offense here on second down. Again, it's Robinson. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
Breeze now on first down. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Now Breeze throwing on second down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. At the end of one, it's a close game here. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Encroachment defense.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Breeze now. And this is going to be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now Dan Carpenter. His career long is 60 yards, so he's got a big leg. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. A lot of times, as AP goes, so goes the team. He's done well. The team's done well.
And usually when he does that well, other people do in addition, because now you can open up other things in your offense. But the bottom line is he is option number 1, and that's usually their best option. Just absolutely can brutalize a defense. When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all, because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score? Not only did their drop look like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. Here's Prescott, and that is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. So on 4th down, the Vikings send out Blair Walsh to try the field goal here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
Set to return. This is Brandon Cooks. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus-yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
2nd down to the offense needing 5 yards.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. Now Breeze. And this is caught. It's the tight end Fleener for the Saints touchdown. Kobe Fleener, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And he's brought down after a good game. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
The 10th carry now for Peterson. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
9 yards on the pickup there as he'll be left with 3rd and 1. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them. In fact, some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that 3rd.
And he can pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Prescott and finding Pruitt. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Breeze to throw on second down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. It's complete to Flanner. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Breeze now on 1st down. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Second, the offense in search of 6 yards. Again, it's Breeze. He's got time. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Finding time. And a dump off here to Robinson. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Vikings are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Saints didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back.
Okay, well, so much for the halftime report here. Guy can't even finish his Snickers. We're going to get right to the 3rd quarter. Let me spit this out. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And there's a flag on the field. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
The block in the back. Return team.
They'll come out in the pistol. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
False start. Offense.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So 3rd and 15 and an extra defensive back in the game now.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Now Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. It looked like he might beat that last man. He doesn't, though, but it goes as a 32-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And now a first down following that long gain.
Let's go.
Here's Prescott. That is caught inside the 5. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Laquan Treadwell with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. So still in search of the first down after that last completion.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this is going to be incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. They get 31 yards that time. And it'll give the Vikings a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for him to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bobby Richardson in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Jeff Locke now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
So much of this game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. 2nd down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now Breeze. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is fielded at the 27. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for others, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Peterson alone in the backfield. He's going to get the football. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the fourth quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
And off comes to Peterson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Third down and 12, and on the outside they're playing press coverage. So now a 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Offense.
The penalty really backs up the offense here on 1st down. Now 20 yards to go. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
False start. Offense.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now, Breeze again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again.
Adrian Peterson off to the races. 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adrian Peterson, his The second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record.
And the lead is now 24. And so we have the touchdown now. Here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Shotgun now for Breeze. It's complete. Flainer, right side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And this will probably be the last play they can squeeze in here before the 2-minute warning.
Defense always has to be careful in this situation. A lot of teams like to take a shot.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Breeze to throw again. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start. Offense.
Here we go on 1st and 15. Again, it's Breeze. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. Touchdown, New Orleans. Adam Humphries, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, the Saints recovered it. New Orleans football. Well, that certainly makes things more interesting. You get the score, then you get the onside kick. A little uphill battle still, but a start.
It's not mission accomplished, but the plan is working. They're in a great spot right now, and the best part, they put the defense right back out on the field after having already scored.
Yeah, they've got the momentum here now. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Back to the air on second down. It's Breeze. And that's incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now Breeze on 3rd down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway, with a pick. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Again, Peterson. And he went no. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Two yards to go here on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. Second down now after the incompletion. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Michael Pruitt, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point try now for Walsh. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On play action. Now Breeze. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway, with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And they'll lose a yard time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And they're really trying to build something. Beginning of the year, they said they thought 8 wins was a number to reach to call this season a success. And this win...
All right, folks, that ends this game. The Minnesota Vikings defeat the New Orleans Saints 38-15. Of note, Adrian Peterson breaks the NFL rushing record. He breaks his own record, originally of 296 yards. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Prescott, 103.5 rating. He is 9 for 13 for 93 yards and 3 TDs. He didn't really have to do too much, but the 3 TDs did come in handy. And like I said, Adrian Peterson broke the rushing record, 27 carries for 325 yards with a 12-yard average and 2 TDs. Jarek McKinnon had 1 attempt for 1 yard. Receiving Stills, 2 for 38 and a touchdown. Pruitt, 2 for 31 and a touchdown, and Treadwell 1 for 24 and a touchdown. We'll go ahead in this game, and we'll see you guys at the next game.